Hey guys, I'm 90 Beats and today I'm gonna talk about public transport. In particular, the train. I go a lot with the train, I use public transport very often. So I have my fair share of drama with the train. Still, despite all that, you have some benefits. It's fast, it gets you in the middle of town, so no parking hassle when you're with the car. And the Netherlands is the second biggest railway in the world after Japan, so you can imagine that a lot of trains are on the rail, so you can get on a train pretty frequently. Still, despite all that, there is some drama. A new policy was introduced this year or the previous year that half of the trains doesn't drive during winter conditions. So that means that maybe every half an hour a train goes during rush hour and all day. You can imagine that we are transported like animals sometimes, and some people don't smell that nice in the morning. So you can imagine how that goes when you're cramped up in a train. On the other hand, the train also has problems when there are leaves, rust, rain, there's electrical failure, signal failure, broken down trains. And I also had one time there were sheep along the train. So sheep, I mean what? Sheep just almost brought the train to a halt. We had to go past the sheep very slowly. So that wasn't as nearly as terrible as one day, but I'll come back to that later. But still, you are when you are dependent on another train, on another station, you can imagine that slowing down is quite a problem. And now we are at the worst day in public transport history, at least for me. Around 2 years back there was a fire at the main railway system, where all trains are controlled from that central system. So when something breaks down, hell breaks loose. That means when you're in a train, the protocol is that the train has to stop. It has to stop automatically when there is no contact with the main railway network operating system in that one place. There's no backing up system or whatever, there's no backup. So once it is down, it is down. This resulted in many frustrations and aggressive people. Some people were stranded at a station, meaning you had to go with the bus, but as everybody couldn't use the train anymore, everybody needed to go to the bus. That resulted in so many people going to the bus that people were left behind, and some people just lifted with other people. In my case, I had a rough day in school, and I was glad I was finally able to go home. And then suddenly at some station, the train wouldn't go further. I mean, what? You just could have. I was around 2 stops from my home, and I thought, oh man, come on. I mean, why? And then the worst part came when there was a broadcast on the train, and it was like, this train will not go any further. Please remain in the train or step out. Well, I was smart. I wasn't that stupid. I thought, oh no, I ain't going back. I thought I just step out. Still, I remember that one time when I stepped out in the middle of fuckwhere when another train also went back. That was my best decision because there was no bus going back home. But this time I knew there had to be a bus going home. So I just stepped out and I just asked random people where a bus stop was. But there was a little problem, because more people in the train decided to go to the train, and the bus came from other points where trains were stopping. You know, some buses stop at train stations, resulting in also many people coming up on the bus. And there were also a lot of people during rush hour. It was rush hour, so it means the whole bus was cramped, and I still had to get in with all those people. That was pretty much a horrible experience, because I had to stand maybe for half an hour, a little longer. And in the Netherlands, you know, you have a lot of dikes and all swaying little roads. This resulted in me being swayed in the bus, all directions, right, left, all the way to my stop. So I almost got my head banged against the wall in the bus. That was pretty annoying, but still I got home, and I was so pissed off at the railway network that they didn't have some backup system or some protocol to at least let people out, because I was chatting with a friend and he was stuck in the train for like 7 hours. 7 hours! Nobody on the train decided, well guys, let's put the doors open and let's walk to the nearest station. He was stuck between 2 stations. So he sat there for 7 hours almost, if I remember correctly. And all the people were like getting aggressive, and his battery was almost running out. So that was terrible too, because when you are stuck you just want to have some entertainment, and when your battery runs low, that makes it even worse. So his phone was almost dead, but he still needed that one call to get home, so I respected his opinion, his decision, let me say that. And I could relate to that. That is really terrible. But still, I want to wrap this up with a positive note, because on the other hand, despite all these problems, you know, it isn't that frequent, and despite that, you still have the luxury of getting somewhere quick, you know. So, and you only realize that when you lose maybe your subscription to the public transport system. So you still have that lingering feeling that you had when you could go for free or on that subscription every time. So don't forget that. It's still a valuable position you're in, that you are able to use it. So appreciate it as long as you can. And I want to wrap this up. If you like this, if you like my rant or my story, whatever you want to call it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure to visit the channel. 90 out.